All right, we have now gone beyond hypothetical. We are at the real, and it is happening right now. YouTube has changed its moderation policy in a way that directly benefits the Trump administration and hurts channels like this one. Let me explain to you what's going on. New York Times did an investigation, and it found that YouTube has quietly told its moderators start favoring, quote, freedom of expression over risk of harm. Now, in content moderation, this is the balance. There's a piece of content. What's the risk of harm? What's the importance of freedom of expression? And you find a balance and you say, well, we want to prevent harm. So we might sometimes limit what people say because we want to prevent harm. Now, you might say, well, it's reasonable to favor freedom of expression over risk of harm, but you've got to understand what that really means for content and for channels like ours. Videos that would have been removed for hate speech or COVID disinformation, election lies, are now allowed to stay up if they are considered, quote, in the public interest. That label is completely up to YouTube. Before, if 25% of a video was deemed harmful, it got taken down. Now, up to half of a video can break the rules, but stay online. And so you can now have videos where half of it is lies and slurs or incitement, and it's allowed to stay up if the rest of it sounds vaguely political or newsworthy. Now, it's important to understand that this did not happen in a vacuum. YouTube made these changes in December, right before Donald Trump returned to the White House. Never were these publicly announced. The only reason we know about it is because of the New York Times investigation and leaked internal training documents. This is not only about YouTube. I want to make that clear. Meta, Facebook, Instagram, X, they've all scaled back fact checking. They've all scaled back moderation under pressure from the right. This is another example of creeping authoritarianism. You don't need laws banning dissent, although Trump wants them. You don't need tanks rolling in the streets, although they are, and we're going to see a lot of them on Saturday. You need powerful platforms to quietly change their rules so that they don't piss off the dear leader. Because Trump made it really clear. You criticize them, you could lose your business, your contract, your livelihood. And companies that are terrified about being targeted are deciding it's safer to let the lies slide. This affects us directly, okay? If you were watching this right now on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, it means, I assume, that you care about independent creators, you care about real news, you care about accountability. But the space for voices like ours is getting squeezed. Not by a ban. We're not banned. Not by a big purge, but by letting the worst content flourish and pushing truth further and further down the algorithm. And right now we're seeing what happens when the platforms decide that transphobic slurs, violent fantasies, COVID lies, whatever, it's fine as long as it's framed as a newsworthy discussion. A video joking about putting politicians in guillotines, allowed. False claims about gene-altering vaccines, allowed. Hate speech buried in a talking head rant, allowed. So this is way bigger than a single policy change. It's a shift in the ecosystem. And when companies start weighing freedom of expression as more important than actual harm, what they're really saying is we're going to take engagement over safety and we're going to take profits over people. Now, I don't plan to go anywhere. I plan to be here and to continue telling the truth to the extent that I am allowed to do it. But we need you with us, okay? Please subscribe, please share, please speak out, because if the Trump administration can scare these platforms into submission, they're going to come for us. We've already seen evidence of it. They tried coming for my book. And this is much bigger than policy on any one platform. This is about, does independent media survive for the next 4 years? Okay. A lot of what you can do is free. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Substack, which is the only platform on which we own our data. And if we get shut down, it's the only place I'll be able to tell you what happened. You can email info@davidpakman.com and say, David, get me on that Substack newsletter. You can sign up yourself at davidpakman.substack.com. And remember that following us on any platform, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, it's all free. If you have a couple bucks to spare, consider getting a membership at joinpakman.com. I can't think of any time since I started doing this that progressive media was as imperiled as it is today, and that independent channels were as at much of a risk as they are today. We've got a great bonus show for you today. We'll talk more about it. New show tomorrow. If you or someone you love is on Medicare, this is important. The Department of Justice filed a major fraud complaint against 3 of the biggest Medicare brokers in the country. These brokers pretended to offer unbiased advice while secretly steering seniors into plans that paid them the greatest kickbacks. This is why I recommend Chapter. After seeing their own families get scammed, they created a better way. Chapter's fully independent and the only national Medicare advisor that searches every plan available to find the one that actually fits your needs. They advocate for you, not the insurance companies. No steering, no pressure, just expert help completely free. Chapter has saved the average senior over $1,000 a year, and they are a free resource for my audience. So if you want help with Medicare, give Chapter a call by dialing pound 250 and saying the keyword Medicare. You'll talk to a real person who will help you figure out exactly which plan is right for you, or go to askchapter.org/Pakman. The link is in the description.